Hello and welcome to my new Let's Play of Europa Universalis 4. I am playing vanilla apart from some graphics mods and I aim to play the Ottoman Empire. I'm only starting this due to the fact that my other Let's Play, which was an Exodus timeline mod, became unstable and autosave, for example, got corrupted. I got fed up of the two crashes I experienced and I kept on experiencing them. So I basically decided that I'd just do an unmodded one, though the only mods I got are graphical. Now, I said I was going to play something obvious, and there's five options really. France, England, Castile and Ottomans are general choices, due to how easy they are to play. Now, I was thinking of going to England and trying to replicate the British Empire, but I think ultimately I'm going to play the Ottoman Empire to try to establish and follow North African control, as well as perhaps expanding so far that I actually reach India. So, let's get to it. Sorry for the very long loading time. Now, I'll be getting this area covered. So the city of the world's desire and such. I'll also be aiming to convert all that. Now, once the Byzantium are out of the way, I aim to take out the main the areas which have my cores after that. So, the Anatolian miners. And then I'll see what mission I get from there. It'll most likely be conquer the Levant, which is going to be a relatively easy one due to the fact that Mamluks are often a large pushover of their size compared to the Ottomans. And I don't plan on allying Tunis either. I just plan on being a bit of a douche in a way. Now, my first aim is to at least achieve this area here, or I want to take all of this, or rather take it over Albania, deal with the Byzantine, deal with Athens, and then go over here, take all my cores, and hopefully establish take over Mesopotamia, and then begin my advance into Arabia, all the while doing the Ottomans' magic on the Mamluks. I'll then continue to expand into North Africa, and hopefully get all of it, using the national tradition of that massive core decoration cost decrease to my advantage. Now, with Constantinople, I'll get a massive amount of extra tax from it and such. I'm getting a little ambitious possibly, but taking out the Byzantine early on is always my advantage. It's in high priorities whenever I play the Ottomans. Normally I'd get it before Serbia becomes a bit of an issue, but hey, Serbia still isn't really an issue. I can crush them anytime I want. Now, that's a pretty bad air for an Ottomans. I mean, a 116. Well, I won't be falling behind military anytime soon, at least. But he's still pretty crap. Now, Constantinople will be very hard to deal with, due to its 3 walls and such. Blockade it and hopefully get that over and done with faster. Now, one thing I should certainly focus on is making sure the Mamluks don't get, say, Dulkadir and Ramazan as vassals, or they may as well, also they may conquer them. Now, they're administrative leader, so I doubt he will do it as well anyway. Now, the Byzantine navy would be crushed even if I only used a smaller amount of my navy. Now, this is an issue with naval battles, because as you kill ships, the morale from that ship is normally low, and that results in entire navies being destroyed, because as the damaged and heavily morale damaged ships are destroyed, the healthier ships have higher morale. So the morale hit doesn't really matter, because then the morale will go back up and they'll get destroyed as well. So the naval system does need to be a bit of a rework in this game. And that, I think, has been acknowledged by one of the developers. I'm not positive though. So I do plan on converting quite a bit of Orthodox territory and such to be able to just be I'm not sure what to say for this. I would say be quite happy once I've got all this converted to Sunni. I don't really plan on going to Europe this game, though if I do gain enough power here that I can begin pressing against Austria, and I'm confident that I will be able to do it with relative ease, I will go for it. And I'll most likely end up pushing to take over Italy as well then. This could be a mistake, not wanting to put pressure on the Europeans, as they'll normally become much stronger and more painful to deal with early on. Later on. So it is most definitely the best idea to deal with them when you still have the better units, as the Ottomans get an entirely separate sort of unit from Muslims due to their different tech group. Now I also can predict that I'm going to end up fighting with Venice a bit to get like islands like Crete. Also going to want to crush the knights relatively early on due to their relative annoyances in most cases. Now here I'm crushing the remains of the Byzantine army. Split the blockade there, keep the Serbians blockaded. Hopefully I'll be able to get the full annexation I want. Now this would generally cost a massive amount due to the, well, not a ridiculously massive amount, but it would still nevertheless be quite a lot. The Byzantines sometimes can end up putting a much stronger fight, though this is rare. Now, the next wars will most likely focus on us dealing with Anatolian miners, primarily Ramazan and Dokkadur. I know you can vassalize these, which is something that I've seen a few players do to avoid the manpower issue. I believe Ryazan is always the easiest to vassalize, followed by Dokkadur and Kandar. You cannot vassalize Karaman due to Karaman's reluctance, due to the base tax. Now, the biggest issue that Ottomans may or do experience, I think, is late game Janissaries events, which I believe are actually reliant on something much earlier in. Now the Ottomans late game also have issues dealing with European troops due to the sheer gap, I guess, in pips on occasions. It's only a 2 gap, I believe, in all tech groups to Western. I believe the Westerns are generally ahead in tech as well, which adds their military tactics advantage, for example, on top, which is generally what gets tech groups like Indians crushed late game. Unless they, for example, westernize and are able to keep up, or ahead of them on military tactics, for example. What the hell's going on here? The Aaron... Okay then. And Aragon is allied with Burgundy, so... This is an interesting situation over there for Castile. Aragon, for example, could actually be the one that becomes Spain eventually. Never seen that happen before. And this is relatively ineffective, but I don't really want them to sortie, for example. But they will not wipe peace even. Byzantine will not accept full annexation quite yet, so they're very close to it. A little bit more war score and I'll probably be able to do it. I think that will mean I'll get a vassal. Yep, I do. Now this here is a lovely thing, as it gives extra tax, makes it Turkish, makes it Sunni. Brilliant. Check my trade. I am not collecting here, and I don't know why. So it doesn't really matter. I will still have to call those, which is a bit annoying, but it could be worse. Now, my epic general just died, which ain't good. And I've also gone over my time limit. After that, this episode here, goodbye for now.